Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Oh, welcome to my Asshole Podcast. You want to know what today is? Today is Patreon Day! And it is the free Patreon Day episode of February. So, it's a good day, man. It's a good little Friday for you guys. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. I hope you guys are going into a good weekend. Man, it has been a week for you, boy. Won't lie to you. We got Super Bowl coming up this weekend. So, I know you guys are getting ready and prepped ready for that. That's going to be pretty exciting. We'll probably still have a Sunday episode coming out, even though. So, hopefully you guys catch it on a Monday or whatnot. But yeah, man, train keeps rolling no matter what happens, But today we're going to get into our thread, and we'll get into some scenarios later on. Our thread for today is, what's the worst gambling addiction story you've ever heard? All right, so let's see. Buddy used to work in the kitchen at a casino. He was put on the buffet floor for breakfast. Some lady comes up to him and asks if he can bag up some of the bread because she gambled everything overnight and had no food to make her kids lunch for school. He gave her some bread and a gambling support hotline card. She complained and he got suspended. Yo, bitch just came in and was like, oh, I gambled all my money away. Can I please get some bread for my kids to make a sandwich? And he's like, yeah, sure. And hey, look, I think this would, help you out. She's just like, how dare you say that I have a gambling problem? Like, wait, hold up. Did you not just hear yourself? You're begging for bread because you can't make your kids lunch tomorrow. And you think I got the problem? Bro, what? Yo, come on. That's crazy. Crazy work. All right, what is the worst gambling addiction story that you have come across? An employee at my dad's company was a lovely guy, but addicted to gambling. He retired after 25 years at the company. The newish at the time casino in the city immediately got him to join in the high roller games. He burned through all of his retirement savings in 3 months and ended himself. Yo, bruh. I don't get how people can play with their money like that, man. Like, I can't do that. Gambling is cool, it's fun for like a little bit, but once I lose like once or twice, I'm good. I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm moving on, bro. Moving on to greener pastures because it's only downhill from there. Like, I don't get the people who think like, oh, all I gotta do is just keep going, and if I hit that one big one, I'm good. If I can just hit that one big one, I'm good. It's like, bro, you're never hitting that big one. It's not happening, fam. It's not working. Like, yo, oh, and the fact that he offed himself is crazy. Wow, bro. Wow. All right. What's the worst gambling addiction story that you have heard? Know a man who works security at a Windsor casino. He finds suicides in their cars at the parked underground lot. Yo, bruh. Working at a casino is probably the hardest job. You would think, oh, what's so hard about working at a casino? And it's just the fact that you have to watch these people's lives literally crumble to the point where some people just end it right there. They just end it right. They get in their car and they're just like, bah, done. It's over with. Like, bro, and then I wouldn't be surprised if some people, they get in their car, like they get out of their car, right? And they're just like, all right, cool. Got the piece ready. If I lose everything, coming back here using the piece. Like they know, like this is a planned ordeal. Like they're ready to like, yeah, if I lose it all, this is what I'm doing right here. Like, yo, man. Oh, that's crazy. And then being the one to find them, that's probably the worst part about it.
Damn.
Like, bruh, imagine you're just going home and you just see this car in the parking lot or in the parking garage, and you're just like, what the heck is going on? And so, you walk up on it thinking like maybe somebody's sleeping in there. You wake them up. Hey man, you got to get going. And you just see somebody's brain just blown out, and you're like, yo, what? Man, like imagine you would just be standing there. I know I would not be able to sleep. I would go home so traumatized, bruh. And I would just be like, fuck, man. And I would honestly, after seeing something like that, I would be telling people, like, after they lost like twice, I'd be like, look, man, hey, I really think you should stop. The game ain't worth it, bro. Come back another day. You know what I mean? It might be your day or whatever. Like, bro, and if they're just insistent on it, I'd be like, look, man, I would call manager or something. I'd be like, yo, look, man, we got a real addict down here, bro. Because that would change the way I would just look at my job. You know what I mean? I would literally be just trying to save these people. I get it. Sometimes, there ain't no saving them, but bruh. Whoo, that's crazy, man. Okay. What is the worst gambling addiction story that you have heard of? When I was a college student, I worked at a gas station on the weekends. There was an older man who would come in, super friendly, always joking. He would always buy scratching tickets by the hundreds. I'm guessing lotteries are different around the world, but we have bingo, crossword, and other scratch tickets in packs of 50. And he would buy 3 to 4 packs at a time. Damn, he was buying them. Yeah, like he said, at the hundreds. Wow. And he would buy 3 to 4 packs at a time. He'd go back to the store and just scan barcodes. Sometimes he would win decent money, and once he won $40,000. Yo. But over the length of his addiction, he admitted to me he gambled away over half of his retirement money. And he was on track to gambling the rest of it away within a few years. I only worked there for a few months, but I always think of that guy and how lonely and depressed he probably was inside. The sight of an older person buying lots of tickets or wasting away at a slot machine always breaks my heart now. Facts. And the crazy thing about it is he was cognizant of it. Like he knew like, yeah, I'm an addict. I wasted all my money. Yeah. As he's buying more, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, yo.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Like, what are you doing? You see it. Why are you not doing anything about it? Like, I just don't get it. Oh, it's so bad. And anytime I'm walking through like a casino, or I'm walking through, any place that has the slots or whatever, and I just see old people and they're just at the slots and they're just hitting the button or pulling the lever. I'm just like, bro, you guys, they just don't know how bad it's gonna get. You know what I mean? Like, it just, bro, I can't do it. I would not be able to do it. My humanity. All right, what's the worst gambling addiction story that you have heard of? Knew a guy who won big ones, spent the rest of his life chasing that same high. He lost his savings, his marriage, and still swore he was one good night away from fixing everything. That illusion is brutal. Ooh. Damn. Oh, God. And that's exactly what I was saying with the other one, man, where they think they are one good win away, and it's like, you're never that close. You're never that close to a good win. This doesn't happen, bro. It doesn't happen, bro. Oh, he lost his savings, his marriage. All he thought, all I have to do is win one big one. He said, if I win one big one, she'll come back. My kids will come back. I'll get all my stuff back. Bro is probably under a bridge right now. Bro is probably under a bridge, shaking, just like, if I just win it big, one more again. All I need. Oh man, I can do it. And you're like, bro, dude, oh shit. What's the worst gambling addiction story that you have come across? I knew a guy who worked at a high-paying corporate job and seemed to have it all. One day his wife went to buy groceries and her card was declined. She called him thinking it was a bank error. It wasn't. Over the course of 3 years, he had quietly drained their savings, their kids' college funds, and had taken out a second mortgage on the house, all via sports betting apps, on his phone during his lunch breaks. She had no idea they were broke until she couldn't pay for a gallon of milk. The invisible nature of modern gambling apps makes it so much easier to ruin your life in total silence. Bro, he didn't even realize the amount of money he was spending because he thought, oh, what's $5 here? What's $6 there? What's $7 there? What's $9 there? Like, that's what's so dangerous about these apps, bro. You know, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I sometimes get in that too. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. My friends be getting me into those freaking like Total War and what's the other one? And like Clash and all that stuff, bro. And then I don't realize how much money I spent over the week, and I'm like, why did I do that? I'm like, bro, and I'll catch myself too. Sometimes I find myself deleting the app, but then I reinstall because I'm like, I spent so much money already. Bro, apps are the death of people. They really are. Apps are the absolute death of people, man. I know for me personally, like I said, I sometimes get into that rabbit hole because, again, it's one of those things like I was saying. You know, what is $5 here? What is $6 there? What is $2 there? What is $3 there? You know, that shit adds up, bro. Especially over a week. That's all it takes. 7 days, bro. 7 days before you know it, bro, you've spent $200-$300 in 1 week on a stupid mobile game or a stupid gambling. Bro, I feel it. I'll be falling into it sometimes. I never do the betting thing, though. I think that's retarded. I don't really watch sports like that or really care enough about sports to really gamble on it. But, you know, I will sometimes, indulge in those stupid little games. And I'm just like, why do I do this to myself? You know, oh, it's terrible. All right. What is the worst gambling addiction story that you have heard of? My cousin had it pretty rough, grew up poor alongside us, started doing heroin at 17, which was already a gamble in itself. He would occasionally buy scratch-off tickets when he had money, and would buy 40s with them. He hit around $500 to $750 back in 2017, bought a bunch of dope, booze, and found out about sports betting. Oh, damn. Oh, dude, you're cooked.
Damn.
He hit it pretty big on the sports bets, came into a lot of money that would be thrown away at dope. He did end up getting sober, which was awesome, but never tackled the gambling. 2018, he kept it up, won a real big one for himself, around $15,000. Got a phone call in May from my mom telling me my cousin had passed away and what the arrangements were. He decided to do a shot of dope to celebrate a huge win he posted on Facebook about. The relapse cost him his life over some money he came into. Oh, bruh. Dude got sober. You know what I mean? But he was still gambling. He won it big and thought to himself, what's a little heroin, you know? Schmack it up. And the relapse just took him out, bruh. Wow. Wow, bro. The relapse took him out. Damn, bro. That's tragic. That's right. Like, just when you think your life is going to, like, turn around, you know what I mean? You're doing everything in your power to turn that motherfucker around. You're like, yeah, everything's going good. It's going straight. I want all this money. I'm doing good. Let's do this. Yeah, yeah, man. We're doing our thing. And then out of nowhere, you slip up one time, costed him his entire life. Damn. Woo, that's crazy, bro. Oh my God. I used to think gambling was bad, but this thread is opening it up to where it's like, this is the extreme, obviously, of gambling, but I wouldn't put it past, like, this is just another day in Vegas. You know what I mean? Another day. Like, think about the people who live, because, okay, there was one time, I went to the Yamava Casino. And I went to Yamava Casino, and when we were driving out of the casino, I noticed there are people that live like right next to the casino. It's like, bro, down the street kind of thing. They can walk to the casino. That's how close it is. And I'm just thinking to myself, the people that live here gotta be gambling addicts. There's no fucking way. You know what I mean? There's no way that you live that close and you're not tempted to just like, oh, it is what it is. Like, I could just go up in there, spend a little $100, go home. You know what I mean? I'm not driving. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like the ease of access of that stuff. It was funny because I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, yeah, there's no way these people aren't addicts, It's just, and that's what I'm thinking it is for a lot of these people. I don't know if these people are driving way out or whatever, because I know I wouldn't, drive way the fuck out there to go gambling. That's kind of dumb in my opinion. But I'm talking about the people that live like right next to it. Like I said, they walk up the street and they're boom, casino. It's like those people gotta be just either recovering or, you know what I mean? They have a family member, somebody they know. I was like, dude, nah, there's no way I could do it. There's no way I could do it. All right, on to our next one. All right, what's the worst gambling addiction story that you have heard? Classmate and his brother suddenly received a letter from the government that it was time to start paying back their student debt, which was odd since they never took out student loans. It turned out their mom had them sign documents when they turned 18 and collected their student loans in her bank account to gamble with. Oh no. Same for the family savings. She was in charge of all the finances in the house. The father also completely trusted her with his paycheck and apparently never checked the bank account. When the brothers confronted their mother, she apparently just got up from her chair and said, well, the jig's up, and left the house and never talked to her family again. Wow. How could you do that to your kids? Like, okay, it was bad enough that you took out student loans in their names and then you drain the family savings and all that. But then when they call you out on it, instead of being like, you know what? I need help. I'm an addict. This is what I'm dealing with. Like, can you guys help me out? Blah, blah, blah. She's just like, shit. It's over. Peace out. And just leaves. Just runs away. Like, what? Like, bruh. Talk about
emotional damage.
Bruh, your mom just leaving you like that. And I guarantee you, they looked at it like, Mom, we'll help you out. We'll get you some help. We'll take you wherever you need to go. We'll do what we got to do to rectify this. We got you. But for her to just be like, nah, I'm good. Peace. I'm good the way I am. I don't need the help. I don't need y'all. I'm good. And leaves, bruh. Damn.
Stop it. Get some help.
That's crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. That's something else, man. I couldn't even imagine. Couldn't even imagine. Like if that happened to me and that was my mom, yeah, I'd be doing anything and everything. And I think even you guys too, the listeners and viewers right now, you guys are just like, yeah, I would be, I'd help my mom in a heartbeat. I'd help my dad in a heartbeat, whatever, like we would deal with it. It is what it is. But the fact that she was just like, nah, I don't need no help, motherfuckers, I'm out, peace, is crazy. All right, on to our next one. What's the worst gambling addiction story that you have heard of? You probably don't believe that electronic stabilizer belongs in high-end glass. We don't either until we built this. Oh, okay. My father-in-law gambled his life savings after my mother-in-law died. Entire 401k gone in 5 years. Used to be an executive and now asks his adult kids to pay rent. It's awful. Yo, bruh. I don't get how people work so hard for 20, 30, 40, even 50 years sometimes just to be like, gonna go to the casino and just blow it all. Blow it all. Give it all away. Let it all go. And it's like, dude, what you're pretty much doing is you're saying that the 20, 30, 40, 50 years that you worked were all in vain for nothing. You did that all for nothing. You woke up every day. You went to a job you hated. You dealt with coworkers you didn't like. You dealt with managers you couldn't stand. You dealt with customers you couldn't stand. You dealt with the bullshit. You dealt with everything that you did. You woke up when you were tired. You went to work when you were sick. You drove in those shitty traffic conditions. You know what I mean? To and from work. You did all that to blow everything that you worked for. Put that into perspective. Imagine you work all that time, bro. All that time to just give all those years, all those decades, just the middle finger. Wow, dude. I couldn't imagine. There ain't no way I could be working 20, 30, 40, 50 years even and sit there and just blow it all away. I could never, bro. I could never do that. That would just, oh my God. Because I have, that perspective where it's like, I'm getting up for work every day. I'm working when I don't want to work. I'm going to work when I'm sick. I'm, driving to and from when I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? All the times I want to call off. I'm waking up when I don't want to. I'm doing all this bullshit, dealing with shitty coworkers and, the work and just everything. You're dealing with all that and you just throw it away. But damn, bruh. Damn. All right. We're going to do two more and end the thread. What's the worst gambling addiction story that you have come across? My first job was as a video poker attendant. This guy would come in and blow thousands of dollars in order to hit the jackpot, which would usually leave him breaking even, and then immediately pump it all back into the same machine. Thousands every week. The last time was a bit over $10,000. God damn. He was so furious he did not come back. He was doing it to himself, though. We ended up having to put Gamblers Anonymous stickers on all of the machines because of him. I have tons of stories, but another one that sticks out is a woman who... a woman that would piss in the small trash can near her machine when no one was around because she didn't trust us to hold her machine. Disgusting.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
What? Yo, she did what now?
What did he say?
That's disgusting. Imagine you're just out. Thank God he didn't have to smell it. Oh my God, that would have been the worst. But you just see this lady in the camera and she's just like, oh yeah, and she's just like, yeah, okay, we're good. And the homeboy's just like, all he hears is just like, pretty much liquid hitting a plastic container. Like, bruh, imagine being that guy that has to clean that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, it was bad enough when like customers and people come in smelling really bad. Like, that's one thing. But when they do something, okay, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story that I probably have never told on the podcast. Okay. Super funny story. I was working it was my first like closing shift working at the grocery store. All right. My first closing shift. And, I was doing my rounds, running around, getting things, whatever. This lady called the cat lady comes in, right? She comes in. She always smells like just cat piss and, just animal fur. It's just bad. It's all bad. And, we deal with her. It is what it is. She goes to the cat food aisle, right? And mind you, I don't see this. I don't know what's going on at the time. But our manager sees everything through the camera. She squats in the middle of the aisle, takes a dump in the middle of the aisle. So she just pulls her pants down, squats, dookies right there, pulls her pants back up, gets all her stuff. We help her. We put all her stuff in a bag, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, all right, hey, have a great day. And then, I turned to the cashier at the time. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. Holding our noses and making gestures and stuff. Then our key carrier comes out for the night. And he's just like, you would not believe what I just saw that lady do on the camera. And we're like, what did she do? And he was like, go to aisle 15 and you'll find out what she did. And so we go to aisle 15, and all you see is just this pile of dookie in the middle of the aisle. And we're just like,
Bruh.
no way. There's no way that happened. And the craziest thing is the key carrier had to clean that up. I was like, oh, that's nasty, bro. Once like everybody like found out about it and heard about it and stuff. Oh, they didn't let that man live it down, bro. They didn't let him live it down. They were calling him doo-doo hands and all that stuff. Oh, bro. And anytime she came in, they would call him and be like, hey, man, that customer came in again. She might dookie on the floor for you. Bro, it was bad. It is bad, bro. Oh my God. That was the worst thing ever. So yeah, that shit does happen, man. It does happen. Oh, and I thank God I was not the one that had to clean it up. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, goodness. But that's going to go ahead and be the end of that thread, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that thread. If you did, definitely let me know down in the comments. If you have a gambling story or anything like that, or you know someone who had a gambling story, let me know down in the comments what your gambling story is. So, this is the Patreon Day episode, but it is the free Patreon Day episode, so we still have announcements. So, patreon.com/MyLasso Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, like this episode. If you want to get an episode every single Friday, get onto the Patreon, man. $3 a month, get you exclusive episode every single Friday. Start your free trial, your 7-day free trial. Get on in there, check it out if it's for you, all that good stuff. Audio listeners, thank you guys for all the support, man. You guys are the real goats, and I appreciate you so very much. If you want to help out even more, go ahead and rate us 5 stars on your preferred platform, as well as following us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. All of that helps tremendously, and it is a big help. I thank you so much, and it's all free. So I love you guys so much. Appreciate all the support. Without further ado, let's get right on into our scenarios. All right. Man, do we got some juicy ones for you today. Our first one is touching/flirting with an ex hookup cheating? I would say it is, but let's see. Me, 24 male, girlfriend, 21 female, hooked up with her your ex's friend 8 months before we started dating. They made out multiple and almost slept together, but she set a boundary that it can't happen again since they're in the same friend group, and he violated that boundary by grabbing her waist when she was drunk. But she didn't say anything else after that. Note, this happened before we were dating. Okay. I found out about this and I told her that I understand they're in the same friend group, so I just told her to keep her distance from him because it makes me uncomfortable, which she reluctantly agreed to. Fast forward to while we're dating. She hosts a party with her friends, and the guy she hooked up with is there. They got drunk, and she was touching / being flirty with him for almost an entire hour or two while I was just sitting there alone. Ooh, man, damn. I brought it up later and she didn't say anything. So I broke up with her the next day and she started crying and said she won't do it again and even offered to cut him off. I took her back for some reason and the next day she does the same touching and flirting, bro. God dang. With a random guy at another party and defends it to me as I'm just a friendly girl when I'm drunk.
Stop the cap.
And then proceeded to get mad at me when I said, how did you feel if I did it too? Because I set a boundary about the specific guy and then another boundary saying I'm not comfortable with that behavior. Is this considered cheating? 100%. 100%, bro. Come on, man. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, and this is low hanging fruit, but if the shoe was on the other foot, she would be feeling the same way. But if we don't want to go the low hanging fruit route, it's one of those things where it's like you set a boundary and she immediately broke that boundary. You broke up with her, which was good, but then your dumbass took her back because look, you got to understand, man, people don't really change. Okay. They don't, especially, women when they feel like they have like some kind of leverage or they have, some kind of, because think about it like this. If you're the type of guy who, you're with a girl and, she does some fucked up shit or whatever, you decide to break up with her and then you immediately get back together with her because she gave you some fucking sob story and she started crying. Immediately in her mind, she's going to automatically be like, oh, I can do whatever I want to do. And, this guy is just going to he's just going to stick around. If he breaks up with me again, I'll just give him a little sob story and it is what it is. He'll come back around. And you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy that they just look at it like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. He'll come back around and he'll be all right. And it is what it is. Like, bro, you want to stand 10 toes down. I hate guys who do this shit where they will stop talking to a girl or they'll break up with a girl and then immediately go back to talking to her or to dating her. And it's like, bro, you look like a bitch. You look like a bitch. You want to know why? Because you couldn't stand 10 toes down. You couldn't. You set a precedent, and then all you did was throw that precedent away. Bro, you have no spine. No fucking spine at that point. And that's why I don't respect dudes who do that stuff. Dudes who sit there and they'll tell a bitch, nah, we ain't cool no more. We ain't doing this no more. Da, 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 da. And then, a week, 2 weeks, a month go by. And then they're talking about, oh, nah, I want to be cool with you. Nah, I want us to be cool and this and that. Like, you fucking, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you have no spine. You're a bitch, bro. You're not standing 10 toes down. You're not putting your foot down on anything. And rightfully so, bro. That girl is going to take advantage of you. She's going to sit there and just think like, this dude, this dude, I can walk all over him. It is what it is. I can give him a little crying sob story and it is what it is. Like, come on, man. That's how you look to her, bro. That's how you look to her. You need to break up with her and be firm on that breakup. And be like, nah, bro, if you want to be friendly and all that stuff, you go do that shit single, bro. You go do that fucking shit single. Because I'm not trying to be around here. And if she wants you back, you got to make her fucking work for it. And I'm talking about work for it. She gonna have to be doing shit for you. She's gonna have to be at your beck and call. You know what I mean? Anything you say, she is just right there to do it. Like, bro, she has to be your absolute fucking servant slave. Like, nah, bro, if I'm taking you back, you gonna have to work for that shit. And if you don't want to do that, cool, no problem. No problem. Gone now. Mosey on out. Go find someone out, Bessie. Like, nah, we ain't playing that, bro. But I know how it is. A lot of guys, they'll talk a big game, and then when it comes down to the weight of the decision that they make, they let the weight crush them, and they try to walk everything back so the weight is off their shoulders. And that's what they do. A lot of guys can't handle the weight on their shoulders. They'll sit there and talk about it all day. Oh yeah, I'll fuck this bitch, and oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and da da da. But then when it comes to that weight on their shoulders, all of a sudden they real quiet. So It is what it is. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments, though. On to our next one. Found my husband using our child on Tinder photos, and I'm shaking right now.
Bruh.
I am posting this because I honestly don't know where else to put what I'm feeling right now. I'm 36 years old and my husband is 39. We've been married for 6 years. We have a 3-year-old son and I'm currently pregnant with our second child. A few days ago, something fell off. The kind of feeling that you ignore because you don't want that person. You don't want to be that person. I told myself I was overthinking and the stress and hormones were probably getting the best of me, but I couldn't let it go. So I did what I never thought I'd do. I used a website called dotheymatch.com. Okay. What the fuck is that? To find his profile on Tinder. That alone felt like the ground disappearing under my feet. But as I scrolled through his profile, trying to understand how my life unraveled without me noticing, I saw it. One of his photos is him holding our 3-year-old son, not hidden, not blurred, just there, part of his dating profile. I felt physically sick. This wasn't a mistake. It wasn't an old photo. It wasn't accidentally uploaded. It was a choice, a calculated decision to use a picture with our child to make himself look trustworthy, stable, safe. Meanwhile, I'm at home carrying the child and believes his lies. I keep thinking about my son's face being shown to strangers, being judged, swiped on, included in something he has no understanding of. Cheating hurts, lying hurts, but this feels like something else entirely. I don't recognize the man I married anymore, and I don't know how you come back from realizing someone is capable of this. I don't know what advice I'm asking for. I just need to know, am I overreacting, or is this disturbing as it feels? Bruh, I do not think you're overreacting, and I don't think anybody listening to this or watching this would think you're overreacting. That is insane to sit there and use your child to make it look like, hey, I'm a single dad, looking for my future wife, like, bro, no. That is crossing a line that should never be crossed. If I'm being honest with you, dating websites should not even allow you to have pictures of children in your photos. That should not even be a thing. You know what I mean? Like, it really shouldn't. I get it. It's one of those things that, guys kind of use to make it seem like, oh, hey, I'm chilling, blah, 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 and whatnot. I get that. But the fact that, you're using your kid so maliciously like that, now if it was different, if it was a different circumstance, I would understand. I'd be like, okay, it is what it is. Like, say she met some guy and on his dating profile, it was a kid that was on there, but say it was like his sister's kid or something like that. So, technically it's not his kid, but he's using the kid to make it seem like it's his kid. Like, if it was that type of scenario, then I would kind of be like, okay, all right, look, man, you know what I mean? I do think you're overreacting a little bit, just because if he loves his niece or nephew and he, that's a part of his life, that's something he's going to want you to be a part of. But that's not the scenario. The scenario is the fact that he is using your child to portray this life that he does not have. And that's crazy to me. And then the fact that you're pregnant with his second kid is crazier. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when she has the second kid? And you're, you know what I mean? Like, are you going to update your Tinder to have 2 kids in there? Like, bro, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, why is he not thinking about this shit? Like, dude, think about it. When your second baby pops out, the fuck are you going to do? You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get that part. Because I feel like he's just not thinking ahead. He's thinking right now. Sure, right now, whatever. It is what it is. But for in the future, when your second kid pops out, like, what the fuck are you going to do then? Because think about it. Say he starts dating some girl behind his wife's back, all right? She's only thinking, oh, you got 1 kid. You're a single dad of just 1 kid. 3 years old. It is what it is. Whatever. We start talking, chit-chatting, doing our thing. All of a sudden, this magical second kid comes out of nowhere, and then she's just like, wait a minute, the timeline ain't making sense. You have that kid, we met here, and then all of a sudden you now have a newborn? Wait a minute. Fuck is going on here? You doing some sly shit. You see what I mean? Like, you see how, like, the future is not lining up for you, my guy. That is a fucked up future. Even if he does meet somebody on Tinder, you know, and they start talking, chit-chatting, whatever. Like, bro, you're cooking yourself. Like, bro, the stupidest, man. Yeah, you're not overreacting at all. Not one bit. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments. Her husband's so cooked. Divorce this stupid dude, man. I get it. It's going to suck that you're going to, you know, have 2 kids to take care of now, and you're going to have to be doing the single mom thing. That fucking sucks. That's the worst part about it, man. And it's one of those things where it's like, even getting married doesn't secure, like, oh yeah, we in this together, we doing this thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't secure that. It doesn't secure that at all. It's like you're getting married on like the 50% chance that, you know, you guys have kids and the family stays together and everything's great. Like, oh, marriage is cooked. Marriage is so cooked nowadays. Crazy work. All right, on to our next one. What do I do? Do all men look at other women while in relationships? Short answer, you know, yes. Yeah, if I'm being honest with you, yes, they do. You know, I do. I'm the same way. Like, I think every guy does it. You know, I do. I truly do. I think every guy does it. Every guy has a wandering eye. Every guy is going to look at something, you know, and it's just one of those things where it's just like, you got to come to terms with every guy is going to want a fantasy of multiple women. You know what I mean? Like, that is just what it comes down to. Now, whether he acts on it or he doesn't, or whether he finds a way to fulfill that or he doesn't, that's up to him. You know what I mean? That's up to the individual, because look, there are guys who are affluent, doing their thing, and, you know, they're able to have multiple women because they can do that. That's just the way it is. Then you have the more average guys, you know, and they're out there and they have a girlfriend. They wish that they could have, you know, multiple women, this and that, but they're like, I can't really do that. So a lot of times what will they do? They kind of turn to porn. Porn becomes like that. Oh, I got my girl here, but, you know, I got my little sluts over here, you know, and that's just kind of how they justify the whole thing. But I mean, if you're just like out with your girl, you know, holding hands, and, you know, you see a girl with a fat booty, bro, you're looking. It is what it is. You know, I think a lot of guys, where they're having a lot of problems is they hide it. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm completely honest. All right, I'm completely honest with the girl that I'm dating. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. If we're hanging out and I see a girl with a fat booty and she's just like, "Are you looking at that girl's ass?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." That girl got ass. That girl got a fat booty. You know, like, damn, bro. So, you know, and they're gonna get mad, but I'm like, did I lie to you though? Like, you want the truth, so I'm giving you the truth. Yeah, and that's just what it comes down to. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. If you don't like the honesty, is what it is. Go get a guy that'll lie to you. You know, what would you rather deal with? The dude that lies to you, or the dude that's going to tell you the truth? You know, that's up to you. But let's get into the scenario. Let's see the details. All right, I, 22 female, and my boyfriend, 35 male, have been together for a few months and live together. No, it's not weird. It's not weird. The age gap isn't an issue. And that's a pretty normal age gap. If I'm being honest with you, like 10 years is probably like 8 to 10 years is the average age gap nowadays. The issue is that we used to have sex a lot and it's slowed down. We only do it on the weekends, really, and there's always alcohol involved. Consensually, we just happen to drink on weekends and then get it on. Realistically, that change happened around the time I got a new job. So I get home way after him and we just eat dinner and then watch a show until we fall asleep. A couple of times we had his friends over. His sister asked if found girls, a couple of times we had his friends over and his sisters, they asked if found girls in music videos playing on TV, if he found girls on TV and the music videos are attractive. Okay, she wrote that. Mad weird. And he'd say either not particularly or yeah, she's hot, and explains he likes blondes or whatever. And he thought, and he thought was hot on her. Okay. And what he thought was hot on her. God damn, man. Y'all need to spell check your shit, bro. I'm not blonde, by the way. That hurt my feelings because he never really calls me pretty or beautiful. And he'll talk about them. Yes, I know it's only because they asked his thoughts, but I don't know. It's upsetting. We got into an argument about that a few days ago, and he said it was stupid that I was upset because it's a celebrity and I shouldn't be jealous of celebrities. I told him I wasn't jealous of celebrities. I was jealous of the way he talks about other people regardless. If they're famous, because he never just talks about how I'm pretty, or attractive, unless it's right before sex when we're both drunk and he's calling me sexy and slapping my butt. He has even apologized 2 days later, and he apologized 2 days later, and said he didn't realize calling me pretty was such a big deal to me and that he would do that more often. Well, we had sex tonight. All right. And then 10 minutes later, we're laying in bed, and I'm watching him scroll through Facebook, looking at different memes and funny videos, and then a post comes across of Sydney Sweeney. Goddamn, Sydney Sweeney. Ooh, Jesus. Love that girl. Fully in lingerie. It was basically a collage of her full body, and then zoomed in on her butt and boobs. Instead of scrolling past, he scrolled past halfway and then scrolled back up, paused for a solid 10 seconds, and said, "That's interesting." So I scooted away from him a little bit because I felt awkward watching him stare at another woman half naked. He then asked why I was mad, and then I told him I told him it felt bad for me that he had just had sex, and not only 10 minutes later he's scrolling back up to look at another woman half naked regardless if it's a celebrity. He told me I was being dramatic and he wasn't gonna deal with this right now. Am I being wrong for being upset? He told me that he didn't recognize the page that had posted it, and sometimes Facebook shows him posts from pages that are recommended that he's not following. Yeah, honestly, this just seems like a lot of insecurity on your end. That's just what it seems like. It seems like a lot of insecurity on your end. You're just extremely insecure about yourself. You need constant validation. You need to be like, I need to be told that I'm pretty all the time. I need to be told that, he likes, my type of what I am. You know what I mean? Anything that he says that he likes outside of what I am, that upsets me and makes me mad and stuff like that. Look, I'm not trying to throw like all the blame on you, but it's like you are harboring most of the blame here, if I'm being real. It's like, bro, a lot of what he's doing isn't even really cheating or like emotional cheating or anything like that. Bro's just looking at bitches on like a TV, or he's looking at, them on Facebook, or and it wasn't even like a real girl. It was a Sydney Sweeney repost page on Facebook, or a Sydney Sweeney like fan page or whatever. Like, it wasn't even now if it was a real girl, and there was means of maybe contacting this girl or some shit like that, or if it was somebody you guys knew or anything like that, and he's over here zooming in on her boobs and shit like that, okay, we'd probably have a conversation. But no, he didn't do that. And look, regardless if it's celebrities and all that kind of stuff, like, dude, he's doing that. You know what I mean? He's doing that. He's looking at other bitches. He's looking at other women online. Like, we do that. Guys do that. You break up with this guy, you get with the next guy, bro's going to be doing the same shit. Let's be real. All right? Bro's going to be doing the same shit. So if I'm being honest with you, I think you have a lot to work on with you, because you got a lot of insecurities that you're dealing with. You got a lot of validation issues that you're dealing with. You got a lot of issues that are coming out from your side. Because again, if you didn't need that validation, if you didn't need that constant reassurance and stuff like that, this wouldn't bother you. You know what I mean? You would have sex with him, and whatever he's doing on his phone is whatever he's doing on his phone. You wouldn't care. You'd lay there and be like, is what it is. And you'd be on your phone. zooming in on Henry Cavill's chest or something. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you wouldn't care. And that's my point. Like, the fact that you care so much and the fact that you're so invested in this, and you're young, you're only 22, so it makes sense why you'd be so insecure and, you're not really feeling good in your own skin and whatnot. And, you need this constant validation and this constant reassurance and stuff. I get it. That's where that's coming from, and it is what it is. And that's why you need somebody to kind of keep it real with you and fucking tell you that, no, you're the problem, not him. Sure, he's a problem in some degree, but look, if I'm being honest with you, everything that you gave to me doesn't seem like cheating at all. It's just happenstance. You guys asked him what he thought about the girls on the TV screen. He gave you an honest answer. You didn't like that he gave an honest answer. And like I said, I'm the same way. Like, if my girl is just like, were you looking at the girl's butt? Yeah, I was looking at her butt. She got a fat booty. Like, would you rather him lie to you? Is that what you want? Do you want him to lie to you? Do you want him to, want him to tell you false truths because that doesn't hurt as much? I mean, come on now. You kind of got to grow up a little bit. You need to do a little maturing, if I'm being honest with you. And so, the fact that I would be saying the same thing, I'd be like, dude, I don't want to deal with this shit right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking Sydney Sweeney, bro. Like, you act like I'm hiding my phone from you. Look, she's in bra and panties. Like, so what? You know what I mean? Like, it's dumb to me how girls will sit there and they get upset over that. It's like, bro, unless it's a girl we know or, someone that I'm able to have, contact with, like a coworker or, somebody we know in passing or in the friend group or anything like that. If he's zooming in on, Shelby, your friend's like titties in a picture, okay, we can have a conversation. But no, that's not what he's doing. So, yeah, man, I think you're the problem. You need to start, figuring your shit out and stop being so insecure about yourself. You know what I mean? And stop needing validation from him. Let your validation be enough. Let your reassurance be enough, and you move from there. And if you feel you can't do that or get that in this relationship, then it's a relationship you shouldn't be in, because all you're going to do is run that relationship into the ground with your nagging and complaining. It's all that's going to happen. There's no future in that. There's no future in a girl being so insecure and so out of herself. Like, dude, the guy's not going to want to deal with that. He's not. And he's probably one of those guys that, he's probably got his shit together. He's probably got a good paying job doing his thing. Like, he'll probably get rid of you and be like, you know what, dude, I don't want to deal with you anymore. Like, bye. Go on somewhere, and go find another one of you. If I'm being real with you, like, hey, as harsh as it sounds, I'm keeping it hundo P with you, man. I'm keeping it 100. All right. Like, I get it. Sounds harsh, but I'm keeping it 100 with you. I'm not sitting here sugarcoating it for you. I'm giving you the hard truth. And hopefully you swallow it and take it. Hopefully you don't. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. It's up to you. But you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. We'll get on to the next one. On to our next one. Am I overreacting? My partner thinks my butt is too big. Hold up. Wait a minute. A booty can never be too big, man. Okay? Fuck are we talking about? What? Alright, let's see what's up. My early 30s male partner and early 30s female thinks my butt is too big. We have been together for 3 years now and live together. She has made a handful of genuine, serious comments about my butt being too big. I see. Okay, she's made comments about his butt being too big. I see. Okay. All right. Oops, wrong one. I meant to hit that button. All right. That was a fail on me. Okay. She has made a handful of comments, genuine, serious comments about my butt being too big. How it makes my pants fit awkwardly, and it seems to make her uncomfortable. I used to lift a lot of weights and did sports that gave me a big foundation for my legs. I personally did think it's huge, but perhaps pretty bubbly for my size/frame. The most recent discussion started when I said I did a leg workout today. As I've started getting back into exercising, she expressed concern about me working out my legs and to not work out my butt. I told her, I told her her steak is too juicy/lobster too buttery, but she kept saying it wasn't a good thing. What? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay. He said your steak's too juicy and your lobster's too buttery. What? Okay. As an aside, we are both bi, and she gets insecure when thinking about me with a man in the past. Part of me feels like she is extrapolating that I'll attract men by having a thick butt. It feels bad. For reference, I'm 5'11", 185 pounds. I have a size 34 pants waist. Am I overreacting from being upset with her from making these comments over the years and pushing back on her pretty hard about it? I kept telling her I don't intend to grow my glutes, but I'm not going to stop exercising my legs because she's uncomfortable with it. It's my body, and I don't really think that she gets a say. Also, why the fuck would you date someone with a big ass and then have issues with it later on? I'm confused of all this. Yeah, bro. I don't even know why you're still in a relationship with a girl like that. You know, like is it because, you know, she's the only one that's really accepted, like, you being bi? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, most girls ain't gonna accept a dude being bi. Fuck no, they're not. They'll sit there and say that crap, but they're not going to accept a dude being bi. Why? Because all they think about is, like, you fucking taking it up the poop chute, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's be 1000% honest, okay? I think that's kind of the reason why you probably haven't broken up with this girl. Because you probably haven't found a lot of girls that, you know, would really accept you being bi, if I'm being real. And so, you know, I get it, but I honestly would not be with a girl who is sitting there just like talking so negatively about my body all the damn time, because it just goes to show like her level of respect for you. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you are speaking so negatively about me all the time, like that goes to show like your level of respect for me. Like the fact that you are able to just say that so crass and out in the open about your supposed boyfriend, like, bro, if you're saying that to my face, what are you saying behind my back? You know, what are you saying to friends when I'm not around? Like, it kind of begs the question, like, bro, what's really going on here? How are you really feeling? You know, because if I'm being real, it's like, it doesn't seem to me that she really respects you all that much in that regard, because she's able to just so crassly and rudely say those kind of things about you. Like your partner, they really, you know, love and care about you and stuff like that. Yeah, they'll probably mention things, but they're not going to sit there and just be like, oh, why the fuck do you have, you know, like, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. Why are you doing that? Like, you just want to get another man. And it, like, what the, like, huh? I think she would come about it differently. Like, whoa, you know, dang, babe, yeah, you know, I don't know how she would come about it. That's just such a weird conversation. Why she cares is weird too. I don't know why she cares, but that was my first thought reading this. I'm like, why does she care? Why does she give a fuck? But then it goes to the whole respect thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's a way for her to kind of just like safely throw shade and disrespect at him without him really knowing and understanding that that's what it is. And I kind of picked up on it like pretty quickly because, you know, he would just talk about how she would talk to him, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, bro, this is a mad respect thing where it's just like, she just kind of doesn't have that respect for you. And it might be because, you know, she thinks about you, you know what I mean, taking it up the pooper scooper, you know what I mean? And she kind of just looks at it like, oh, you know, I want a real man, blah, blah, blah. Because if I'm being honest with you, bro, I don't really believe that people are really bisexual. I don't. I think it's a thing where people have that small, like, little window of bisexuality, and then they just end up falling into it. Like a lot of guys, if they are 9 times out of 10, they're gay. A lot of girls, they're only really bi because, you know, they did it for an ex-boyfriend, or they did it they're doing it for a guy that, you know, they're talking to right now to kind of seem more appealing and this and that. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't really believe bisexuality is a real sexuality. I think it's just kind of a case by case kind of thing where it's like, oh, I just want to try this, or oh, I just want to do this. Oh, I need an excuse to kind of, be with like this person, but we did with this person all at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, people justify this crap in any way possible, but I just don't think that that's a long standing thing. Like a gay dude, he'll be 50 and gay. You know what I mean? A straight guy, he'll be straight. He'll be 50 and straight. A lesbian woman, she'll be 50 and lesbian. Straight woman, she'll be straight and 50. There are no like 50-year-olds and 40-year-olds talking about they're bisexual, bro. That just doesn't happen. Like, bro, it is one of those things where it's like you get to a point where you pick one side of the track and you just stay on that side. Like, bisexuality is not a thing that really like sticks with you very long term. They're in their early 30s, and I guarantee you in their 20s they weren't like that. Because they come from my generation where, bisexuality was just weird and nobody cared about it like that. And now all of a sudden, in the 2010s and stuff like that, when the gay pride kind of thing came to be about, and it was more like mainstream, if you will, it was a thing where it's like, that's when, bi kind of started hitting it big. And so it was one of those things where it's like, people started to dip into this, and and to me it made no sense, because I'm just like, bro, if you're gay, you're gay. It is what it is. I'm not tripping. Like, why do you have to kind of justify it under the bi banner? Like, that's kind of weird, but it is what it is. It is what it is. That's my 2 cents. You guys don't have to, believe in that, but that's just my 2 cents. You can tell me I'm wrong all you want. I don't care. But when it comes to this, though, this situation, I don't think let's see. Your question is weird because it doesn't tackle the main issue. Because he's asking, am I overreacting? My partner thinks my butt is too big. It should be, am I overreacting? Does my partner respect me, or is what she's saying, disrespect in a way? And I would think it is. I would think it is, because my thing is like, even when you're with your partner, like say I was with a girl and she was gaining weight, I'm not going to be like, hey, you need to get in the gym, fat bitch. I'm not going to say that unless I didn't give a fuck and I was just willing to just disrespect her, and it is what it is. But no, if I have respect for my woman, I'm going to just be like, babe, like, I'm noticing you've been gaining a little weight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe we should start having some healthier habits. Let's go to the gym together. Let's work out a little bit. Let's take some walks. Let's do this. You know what I mean? You kind of approach the situation a little cautiously, and you give some solutions to it. You know what I mean? And so in doing that, it shows respect for your partner, but it also addresses whatever it is that you guys are dealing with. But I think she's going the route of just like, hey, man, you got a fat booty. You need to get rid of that shit. I don't like it. And it's just like, what? Who cares? Oh, well, I don't like it. I don't like it, so you shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. Like, that's a little wild. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think about it in the comments. I'm done rambling about it. All right. This will be our last one. Am I wrong for wanting to break up with my boyfriend over a musical? Okay, let's see what's up. Man, my nose is irritated. So freaking irritated. I hate it. My nose is itchy. I've been feeling under the weather all week. Man, my nose has just been red and irritated all week. It's annoying. All right. Okay, so I, 26 female, I have a boyfriend, 27 male. He has a girl best friend, 25 female. I know it's a well-known red flag for a guy to have a girl best friend, but before this incident, I never had any reason to believe that there was anything going on between them. I don't know about that. Okay. The reason I'm wondering if I would be wrong to break up with him because of Halloween 2025, let me elaborate. My boyfriend and his best friend are huge theater nerds, and we are both obsessed with musicals, specifically Wicked. Okay. I have no knowledge whatsoever on theater, and I have never seen Wicked. My parents were never the kind to watch things like that with me, and it just wasn't a part of my upbringing. This year, in honor of Wicked Part 2 coming out in November, my boyfriend suggested a trio Halloween costume with me, him, and his girl best friend. You guessed it, Firo, Elphaba, and Glinda. My boyfriend as Firo, me as Glinda, and his best friend as Elphaba. Okay, cool. At the time, this seemed like a great idea to me, considering I was under the impression that Wicked was a love story between Firo and Glinda. Oh, shit. All right. And, yeah. Impression that it was between a love story. Okay, we went out and went to parties, and I must admit we got some weird looks from people who knew our dynamic. I thought nothing of it. Fast forward to November, my nose is itchy. Wicked came out. My boyfriend and his best friend went to see it together, and I once again saw no problem with it. Now that the movie is out in theaters, my boyfriend asked if I wanted to watch it together. Just the two of us. I decided might as well because it's something he loves. So we cuddled up on the couch after made some popcorn and started the movie. After a while, I caught on. If you aren't familiar, the story is that Firo and Glinda are set to marry, but Firo is actually in love with Elphaba. Okay. Obviously, this didn't sit well with me. I was quiet for the rest of the night, and now 3 days later, my boyfriend is blowing up my phone because I'm not responding, and I have no idea how to for it. So, am I wrong to consider breaking up with him over this? Girl, you are so goddamn dumb. What the fuck is going on?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Just because you guys cosplayed as some characters, and the character that his best friend cosplayed as is the one that this character actually loves and all that don't mean shit, bruh. That don't mean shit. It was a costume. It's a movie. It's a movie, bruh. That's like me sitting there being like, yo, you know, me and my friends, like me, my girlfriend, and my friend. My friend was Han Solo. She was Leia, and I was Luke. You know what I mean? I was the one that kissed Luke, though. But who ended up with Leia? Han did. So it's like, bruh, I wouldn't break up with my girlfriend. It's like, oh yeah, Han ended up with Leia, so that means I want to break up with you because I was Luke. Like,
Bruh.
what? What are we talking? Girl, are you stupid? What are you doing? What is wrong with you? You gonna break up with this man over that? I thought it was something worse. I thought they went to the the fucking theater without you and you got mad at that, or I thought there was like they went together and the moment was heated and they happened to kiss and he was just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. It was one thing led to another, and you were just like, I knew it. I knew, it was a red flag to, have a guy with a no. It was none of that. It was none of that. It was you just being stupid, bro. Oh my God. All right, man. This one's cut and clear. You're dumb. You're dumb. If you don't break up with that boy, okay? Don't break up with that man at all. He did nothing wrong with getting to a costume with you. Like, come on, man. And then all the times that he went out with his female best friend and all that kind of stuff, you were okay with that. You were fine. It didn't kill you. You were okay. Like, come on, girl, suck it up, all right? Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Let her know, she's stupid or not. Let me know what you think about all the scenarios we've gone over today, as well as the thread. And hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, man. The free Patreon Day episode for February. I will see you guys on Sunday, most likely probably like Monday or something like that. Because obviously it's going to be Super Bowl, so we'll see how that goes. But the episode will be there waiting for you guys nonetheless. Love you guys all. I will see you on Sunday or Monday, whenever you're watching the next episode, and peace.